You're trying to eat better. You know what foods you should choose. But when stress hits, late nights, deadlines, emotional pressure, cravings take over, and suddenly you're eating things you promised yourself you wouldn't. Afterward comes the guilt. You tell yourself you lack discipline. But this isn't a willpower problem. It's a stress problem. Your body evolved to handle short bursts of stress, not constant pressure. Stress was meant to be temporary. Danger appears, the body responds, then it recovers. Modern stress never turns off. Emails, finances, lack of sleep, emotional tension, the threat is always present. Your body doesn't know the difference between a predator and a deadline. So it stays in survival mode. When stress becomes chronic, cortisol stays elevated. Cortisol's role is to make energy available quickly by raising blood sugar and increasing appetite. That's helpful if you're about to run or fight. But when that energy isn't used, insulin rises to store it. This is where metabolism begins to work against you. Chronic stress doesn't just increase hunger, it changes food preference. The brain looks for fast relief, and the fastest relief comes from sugar, refined carbs, and high-fat foods. Stress eating isn't about hunger. It's about calming an overactivated nervous system. And the foods that calm stress the fastest are the same ones that spike insulin and promote fat storage. At the same time, stress suppresses the brain's decision-making centers. Impulse control weakens. Long-term goals fade. So even when you know what you should eat, biology overrides logic. Stress increases cravings. Cravings lead to overeating. Overeating leads to guilt and frustration. And that emotional stress feeds the cycle again. Chronic stress doesn't just affect how much you eat, it changes how your body uses energy. Elevated cortisol encourages muscle breakdown, especially when sleep is poor. Because muscle is metabolically active, losing muscle lowers your resting metabolic rate. That means you burn fewer calories even without eating more. Stress also directs fat storage toward the abdomen. Belly fat contains more cortisol receptors than fat stored elsewhere. This makes it especially sensitive to stress signals. That's why stress-related weight gain almost always shows up around the waist. The body isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you. Most people respond to stress eating by tightening food rules. More restriction, more control, more discipline. But restriction increases stress, and stress is the very thing driving the behavior. You can't diet your way out of a nervous system problem. Real change starts when the focus shifts away from food and towards stress regulation. When stress comes down, cortisol falls. When cortisol falls, insulin sensitivity improves. When insulin works better, fat storage slows. And suddenly, appetite becomes manageable again, without force. This is why cravings ease when sleep improves. Why appetite stabilizes during calmer periods of life. Why weight loss feels easier when stress is lower. Metabolism responds to safety. A stressed body stores energy. A calm body releases it. Managing stress doesn't mean eliminating it completely. It means teaching the body that it's no longer in constant danger. Consistent sleep, balanced training instead of over-exercising. Regular meals to stabilize blood sugar. Breathing, recovery, and mental off switches. These aren't soft habits. They're metabolic strategies. Stress eating isn't a character flaw. It's a biological response to chronic pressure. When you stop fighting your body and start calming it, metabolism begins to work with you again. Cravings lose their grip. Fat loss stops feeling like a battle. And weight regulation becomes sustainable. If stress is driving your eating, weight loss will always feel uphill. But when stress is managed, hunger hormones normalize, metabolism improves, and food decisions become easier, naturally. You don't need more discipline. You need less stress.